Top of the morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko was the only overpowered character. That let's start with the intro thing part. So he's intelligent. Zuko is buffed, and he has everyone's quirk built inside of him that he was born with. And he was pretty powerful, if you had to ask me. So, and Bakugo's in this What If is same as a canon one, but a little bit more calmed down a bit. So, and this is a little bit dark at first, but it will get brighter and brighter for the entire day. And I had this dream. So bear with me now. But make sure you have a little icon of subtitle things on. So let's begin. When Zuko was born, the doctor looked at him, and he was being like a bad comedian thing. Like bad joke to try to get rid of, or try to do pull weird stuff on Zuko's parents. So he told them, "Sorry, Ms. Midoriya, your son's quirkless." As Toga, or not Toga, Inko said, "Oh no, my son's quirkless." So then she and him, or she actually, after they left the doctor's office, because they didn't want the quirkless to be in their family. But Zuko got dropped off at daycare because Inko, she already had 2 kids, or 3 kids, way before her. Zuko is the youngest one. So the 3 that I said, 2 girls, 1 boy, or 2 boys, 1 girl, or 2 boys, 2 girls kind of situation. So it was, for girls, her, as Zuko's sister. Followed by Musclier, followed by Stars and Stripes, and instead of, I was gonna put like a bunny girl as Momo and the Stars and Stripes as Jiro. And put Muscular with like flippin' Denki. But I decided, or actually, I'll just replace these Stars and Stripes with actually with Momo, huh? And Bunny Girl with Jiro. So they, hey, were, so Zuko got dropped off. No? That daycare thing, and she drove away all sad. And Zuko was also sad because he didn't have a quirk. But little did they know that he actually did have a quirk. And it's similar to let me see if I can find this stupid thing. It was similar to I'm trying to think. Well, I can't find it. So, it was similar to It was similar to their combined quirk, and actually that reminds me. He kind of looked like a mix, or his quirk he had everybody's quirk, so, but the thing that he mostly used was the morph one. I forget his name. It's similar to Upgrade from Ben 10. But he had so many legendary quirks that no one even had. On top of the ones that everyone does have. And when Hizuka was sleeping, all those like quirks that he had, they all fused together into a attribute. Basically fusing all of them together into a single attribute. And then this what if attributes are the highest ones compared to quirks that like Bakugo, Momo, wields. Owns. So then he after preschool thing, like he or like the during the second year, first year, he like says, well, this might do, as he was actually decides to show Bakugo. Oh, because Bakugo walked up to him and he says, "Hey, Deku or Zuko, what's up?" He's not being the pain in the butt, not yet though. So he was pretty powerful. Like as he says, or he looked at Deku and says, "So did you get the quirk?" As Deku says, or I'll just say Deku a lot, so it is Zuko actually. Zuko says, "Yeah, but not exactly the one I desired. I wanted to be common, like yours." As Bakugo says, "What do you mean?" As he says, "Well, oh," as a palm of his hand, there was these things. There was looked like little planets going around, and he says, "Look, and my quirk is actually my attribute." Bakugo has heard about attributes that aren't common. They're like legendary rares. So he went, "Wow, Zuko, you're super rare, or you're legendary?" As everyone stopped what they were doing and looked at Zuko and, yeah, heck, Zuko's sister was a little bit surprised at, and as he so Bakugo says, "Well, oh, then how does your quirk work, or how does a attribute of yours works?" As he says, "Well, it's here." He says, "Well, it's simple stuff, because I had and was born with this powerful." As he was pretty powerful. One time he knows that he can do all the powers. And he could, or he used his own power to make black snow, or white snow. Sorry. As when it was bright yellow, as everyone surrounded him said, "That's cool, actually." So, only person that was a little bit so interested was the being his best friend was actually him, because he said to Deku, says, "Wow, you're pretty powerful, I see." I mean, huh. As he... So, then the second year, there was a new transfer student called Himigo Toga, or Toga. So, Zuko was being kind-hearted, or kind, because they... So, Toga was like in the corner being all like, it was on top of a roof, and she was like, yeah, better to be up here than being down there with all those people that talk behind me. As the only person that really did care was actually Zuko. He walked up to her, says, "Huh, Himigo Toga, is that your name?" "Yeah, I am." As he actually, he pulls out his own blood. There was a little, like, jar of his own blood. It was an offering to Toga, because Toga had that fit. So then when she took it and drank it, and she felt much better, then her and him became friends. Inko didn't know that Zuko had this much power. So then at 15, or at, or it's not, if you've seen, like, What If Deku Had Sunshine, I was gonna add that part in of, so, but, and, sorry, I burped. So, her, him, and Deku were best friends, and Deku, or Bakugo was the same, but when Momo saw his, so Zuko went to that training course thing, to legally try to, no? But when Momo saw her brother at there, I was gonna name her MMM, because it stands for Momo. It's 2 M's. Midoriya. Momo Midoriya. That's a mouthful, yes. So, and, or actually, only people that saw his power was, or actually Bakugo and him and her and want Zuko to demonstrate his power. As he looks up at, as one of his, this is his favorite ability. If there was, he told them better to find cover. As they ask why. Because, as he says, there will be storm brewing. As he used all of his power to just as darkness, no. As he even used, this is my favorite ability, when as he used his own creative skills, he actually did, as he was pretty powerful. At he went from being abandoned kid slowly to becoming a #1 hero. As one of his other abilities, he actually took care of multiple rocks. Boom. Kind. Like those people that are surrounding that guy are like boulders, and they're, so Zuko does the same thing. But when he says, as he looks at them and told them that Zuko, or I'll do my, want me to release my fullest power, as Toga says, yes, please. As he says, sure. As Bakugo says, heck yeah, let's see. As he released all of his power all at once, and he became a monster like that, but way more scarier. Like, he even won, or he actually exploded the entire training course Earth with just one sonic boom. Enough for everyone to feel it. As they both, are all four of them. 1, 2, 3, and Zuko, they all just like went back to their like respective home. As only people that actually did saw his power was Momo and, or actually Zuko's is both sisters and her brother, or their muscular, and so all three of them saw Zuko's power at full. They, he got embarrassed because he told Toga and them that thank goodness I was even not at full strength thing. The reason why he wasn't using full power on his attack, because he actually says, well, I don't want to blow up half a world. And Bakugo, they all agree. So then Momo and Jiro and Musclear like Jiro Hill walked up to Inko and said that, well, or actually, they weren't totally sure, but when they saw his power released, just imagining, it gives me a heebie-jeebies about it. Like, you ever get something really cold, sweat thing? Yeah. And his power, only person that really detected it from very far away was actually All For One. And All Might. They are like, what the flip is that? As the doctor of All For One, and the quirk doctor, he was like being so powerful. I don't know. Like he says, this must be that kid's quirk. As All For One says, what kids produces that much power? Or as, his name is Zuko Midoriya, and he has a power, or once I saw him, his quirk was to, or he had multiple quirks, just like a Nomu, but way more, had too many, like, super ones. So, All For One's like, what is that boy's name? Zuko Midoriya. As, in this What If, Shrekison and was not being a villain. He goes to UA, not like to destroy it, but he was a pro hero, just like his grandma was. Of course, then All Might was like, well, I don't know what that sound was, but sure thing, if someone had too powerful of that quirk on someone's, and as he got so scared of it, like, what the heck is that? So Bakugo, or everybody in the couldn't believe that Zuko had that much power. So then during the exam thing, he opened he used his power, all of it, and he destroyed thousands and thousands of 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, 4-pointers. I'm adding like 4-pointers into it. Okay? And 0-pointers. So, the 4-pointers one are were when All Might from a control room saw that boy's incredible power, for he destroyed way more he destroyed a lot of robots. He broke 25 records of of a school's records thing to being the as Zuko was Zuko was pretty powerful. Nezu, I'll just use it because I don't have an actual picture of Nezu, says, wow, that boy has incredible powers. Okay? And the All Might says, yes, we all agree on it. As everybody nods their heads. And the 0-pointer one, Zuko, or actually Bakugo, told everybody else to get back. As all of them, including, or actually Ochako, was the only one. So Deku helped her out, and then Bakugo, who took her to there, and he turned around and told Zuko to go all out. So he did. That roar so loud, the 0-pointer robot immediately got exploded with a fake city too. As so some of them are like surprised. Students, heroes, and pro heroes. So All Might now knows what that sound was. So Momo Irozu sees her brother acting that way. Hey? So they were pretty powerful. And he made a crater. The hole in the ground, not a crater of Gmod or Minecraft one. No. Sorry about that. I had to take a drink of coffee. So Toga was like, yay. Or actually during the third year before that, Toga decides to walk up to Zuko, and ask him to go on a date with her. So then I'm like, so he says sure. And they were pretty surprised. So Zuko was and when I said in the intro thing, Zuko was the only overpowered character. Because everybody, his friends, his family, everybody, including All For One, then was not even close to. They were so low, all the way to say, so when Shiraki-san saw his power, he was like, yep, okay. And he wasn't using his scratchy voice, but his parents, in this what if, his parents wasn't abusive. But instead, they taught him the right way, the organized way. So he wasn't mad at anyone. He's just upset at not being Zuko's brother. Or actually, no. But he actually walks up to Deku and told him, let's be friends. Or he properly introduced himself to Zuko, that I'm Shiraki-san. As he, instead of using a normal handshake because his quirk, he sorry. He wasn't scared Zuko, but he said, sorry about that, Ed. I didn't mean to. As he says, that's okay. Have you joined the hero thing? That's pretty cool, actually. And it's the sneaking up on people. Well, that really got me. Huh. Yeah, it gets me too. So let's be friends. As it was now, Shiraki-san is his new friend. Bakugo, Toga, and Brain Dude. So then, he left a crater actually before, Zuko accidentally made a crater. It was not very. It was like size of a island in the kitchen kind. I mean, but it's like giant circle. Kind of like the. It's similar to. Let me pull up. It's kind of like Manetter's sticky mall things, but on like human sized scale. No, but then he did a after explosion with his quirk thing. Like after first explosion, then the second explosion happened. And then he will almost, or how will I put this? He almost destroyed the planet. Like he looked like, or actually, it it was from like put 20 momos stacked onto each other's with like, or actually picture empty, aren't not empty, M, like in the letter M, T, lady. I keep saying it sounds like empty the picture her transformation form times 20. I mean, like, or times 4 That's how deep it was. And almost like went all the way down. So then that happens. Then the Momo made a phone for herself, so she told her mom, Inko, in this what if, what happened. As she says, "That's good, sweetie. What's that boy's name?" As then she told her, then she ended up in tears, like, I can't believe it. Or actually, she almost cried on the phone. She almost did. Sorry. I almost said front. So then the Bakugo, or actually All Might, leaned over, like he literally looked over at the giant hole in the ground, as he says, young Midoriya. Or actually, he jumped down to grab Zuko. As he says, young Midoriya, you're pretty powerful for... As he says, yeah, I'm pretty powerful. But it's not every day that... Of course, quirk assessment test was over. And then when... Or actually, the orphanage that they went to, or that Inko dropped off Zuko at, had ran out of business, but he still kept his room thing. So then Inko watched the news and saw that, and Zuko, or she saw was Zuko climbing right out of the hole thing. But not in the, like, digging matter. He had, or actually he had, was, because all those explosions things, like his body, from those monster attack things, Zuko became that. But with way more armor. And you know that if any of you played or watched Yu-Gi-Oh! The original series, the normal one, very first one, not season 0, just the one that's or censored one, where I believe Joey Wheeler, fused with his Black Dragon one, in that battle. He kind of looked like that, but instead of fusing with like any dragons, he actually was pretty powerful. Like, he had basically his own super suit already at hand. As it kind of had a lot of protection on it. His wings were like a dragon wings. So then, so yeah, Muscler was impressed. Momo was impressed. Jiro, and because her husband that was working at like somewhere in town, he almost said she, but he saw it on the news. And when he did, or actually it was, I know that I used it for that picture, but it he had the same, or he, or, so his own son is the most powerfulest man in the entire world. He cut and control his self. All Might sees how powerful Zuko gets, and the bunny girl wasn't surprised that. Of course, all of them are so like they couldn't believe Zuko had that much power. So then, when they went back to when he went back to his home, not Midoriya's house thing, but he kept everything nice. So then, Zuko had enough power, so he got, he broke every record. It was Nezu that told him, "You're pretty powerful, so you broke the entire world's records, all the school's records." All the way through. He was like, "What the heck?" And all of them, all those, or he was in class 1A with his both sisters and his brother. And so then, and Bakugo, and of course, Toga. Because I'm getting rid of Manetter for it, bumping him down to class 1B. So then, is still friends with him. Not like being rivals, but they still had so much and respect for each other that nothing can separate them. Not even. So then, at the, I'm skipping that quirk assessment testing. And because Zuko he threw it as an affinity one. And it was like unnatural, boom. Because Zuko was pretty powerful at the time. And they all know that don't set Zuko off. But one night he had, or his throat thing was catching on fire when he went over and vomited. Instead of into the toilet, he went into the shower thing. You know, those like bath ones, big bath. Take a bubble bath with it. So he was like, yep, pretty good. So when he vomited and out, the flame, it kind of looked like that on from the toilet thing, or not toilet. When Zuko did that, it came into me in a dream once. So Deku, did that in a bathtub, like vomited, and like vomit, and the flame that was in the bathtub actually was forming into her. Hold on. And so he looked at him, and she says, not out of hate, frustration, or anything, she actually said, "Hello, Father." Because she was pretty young. She was like her first, then him, and Izuku was freaking out about it. She said, "Don't worry." And he was so powerful, he could create new people. So then, but one day, like right after, of course, he told her that this is what he said, "I'm going to go to this academy called UA, and so have fun and do whatever you want. Or you do, don't try to burn anything down." As she says, "I won't," on her, as he left, she was in her own bedroom. She was playing with some toys that got left. And so, Almine was, or actually, only person that, or actually, Zuko got into Class 1A, as he says, or as he covers his own chin, or not literally, but he just, like, of course, Bakugo, Kano notices something on his friend. Like, he literally walks up to him and said, "What's that giant red, like, lava on your neck thing, Zuko?" As everybody from class 1A looked at Zuko, and he told him, "Oh, it's nothing really. But I do have a power." Okay. And don't worry, Mr. Aizawa, I'm not here to visit. Let's get some stuff done. As he knew that Mr. Aizawa was sleeping on the floor. And he, because Eraserhead had now know that he has respect for him, because when Eraserhead says, "Well, what's that red mark on your underneath your chin thing? All that." Oh, well, better not tell ya, or else you might get sick from it. As that's why he had a garbage thing. He had a little barf bag thing. And he was getting now. Oh, hold on. He felt it coming, and it was coming real quick. So he pulled out a barf bag and barfed into it, but the flames came out. As everybody sees it, or of course, Todoroki was like, "Huh, looks like someone has a fire breathing quirk." As everybody, or Shoto had his back turned, and everybody was stared in amazement as one of them tapped on Shoto's as he turns around and sees it was a child being born from. It looked like it was it it was a young girl like her, or like a toddler, as Toga hands on his back, like, or cave, as he says, "Yeah, just give me some time to." And as they, Mr. Aizawa's says, or actually Ida Tenya says, "That's not physically possible," as he does as he says, as Zuko says, "Well, it's one of my. I just found that out last night. Of I can, when I vomit up flames, I can create new life things." As Momo, Jiro, and all of them were so shocked. As Todoroki, or actually only person that finds that amusing, that. So then And of course, Zuko forgot his lunch bag. So his own daughter, that he used her flames to literally fly over to UA. And of course, she doesn't even know where the phone is. So she had a telepath thing. So she told Zuko that you forgot your lunch, and was embarrassed. So as class started, and he said, just put it at the front door, okay? Not near the sensors. And she says, okay. As she knew that Zuko was not lying. And the all the class 1A, and of course I was surprised. Of course, Almine saw the child. He used, or he didn't just use. He was like, he didn't use the flames one. Like when he vomited into a vomit bag thing. It was sure magma, like volcano kind, and it like created the like then here there's villains, and they were like, wow. And everybody got into their place, and so I'm skipping that part now. USJ, or actually during the lunch thing, Zuko walked up, grabbed his lunch, and walked all the way back in and had some his food. He ate. Yeah, and only person that walked over, or two or three people walked over, because they got told by Inko that if you see your brother, tell him that we're sorry, and okay, and we want him back. And it was Jiro, Momo, Muscle Guy, or Musclear, and they asked him to come back to the family. As he says, sure thing. Okay? As they're like, okay. So then the girl, the little toddler that came out of Zuko she had a special quirk, or a recovery girl saw that this young child has a most overpowered quirk. And she looked over at Mr. Aizawa and told him that you said that one of your students vomited out this child thing. Not exactly, but he had more power or than we thought. And then Principal Nezu had a meeting with Mr. Aizawa, and they were like, yep, I think. As he told his sister, or not his sister, his daughter, when, let's introduce you to our family. And she says, what kind of our family are we talking about? You are her, or he is trying to give her a name before. You're Zilla. Not Nedzilla, Zilla. Or Zilla Midoriya. That's what her name is. So this Zilla, or Zillia, had so much, or she says, I like it. And the kid, of course, Recovery Girl, was a little bit surprised that and so Class 1B heard about what happened. So one of the people, you know who, he's the one that actually it was let's say it was him. Let's say it's him. Because in this what if, some of them were actually, Muriel decided, how about put a giant glass of water down his throat? Let's see if that changes every attribute thing. So then he asked Zuko if he wanted a bottled water thing. He said sure, and when he passed it on, and his throat went from being the lava one into water. Sure. And so all the students, Class 1B and Class 1A, as he's like gonna hurl, as he like vomits into a garbage bag or into on a floor, but then a child came out. It was a girl that looked like her, but with more brown hair. But she was a similar hairstyle as her. As she had it based on a water quirk. Right. So then when they saw him they asked him, so, Zuko, how did you figure that? Or Tinya asked him, how did you have this power in the first place? As he says, I really don't know. No, I figured it out like last or a couple of nights ago. And so then so Mr. Aizawa even says, huh. Because at this point, Zuko was one, two, and it kind of looked like and three, but I'm just because I don't have a picture of her with like yellow hair, with some brown underneath. Yeah. So then that was three at this point. Then all of them, including when Inko heard from Momo and Jiro and Musclear, has figured it out. So they were happy family, and then at USJ, the Nomu, they all did the same thing, but Nomu, instead of attacking him, actually sheltering him instead, because his new order thing, the All for One told that Nomu to protect Zuko. As so then he did, and then all that happened. Nezu, or way before, Nezu told Zuko that if you want your children to come to, or they're allowed to who be here, as they were basically, but one night he was super sick. He vomited out so much, both elements of lava and water under fused, and to create two different beings. One looks just like him, and one looked like her. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As then that happened, 5 of his children's things, they were like, what? Did you just vomit up 2 more? Remember, wow. From that, keep. Okay. I was itching table, but so the he Zuko one time he actually during after USJ incident, and Inko was surprised because he was still single when he had Toga, or he has a girlfriend called Toga. Okay. So then that was weird. So then he ends up laying. But they both haven't got married yet. That's a weird part is. So then he showed his moon, or the moon Midoriya, and Dark Knight of Midoriya. That's what their names are. That's what they gave him. So, sorry. So then, so they're like, wow. Even Shiraki-san's surprised that the all that excitement. Alright. Because they never seen him be so overpowered before. Or like, and then at the sports festival, his own kids were like, and so him, or before, like during that like talk thing, or he actually told Zuko, don't worry, I'll go easy on you, but don't go easy on me. That's what he said. As he says it, like, he says, well, this is not war against you, Zuko. It's not, it's never war against you, but it's against Bakugo. As Bakugo says, how did I get dragged into this, huh? And he says, well, it's not, I don't have any grudges against you, but, hey, and I'm trying to, it's just a figure of speech. Okay. So then, and he heard about his, like, incident with his powerful quirks thing. And he says, or he actually says, how, or he actually told him, how's the kids doing? And he says, they're doing pretty good, actually. And it was, Class 1B was heard about that incident, and they all, like, one of them, you know who it is, her, she wanted to test a theory on, so she asked Zuko if she could use her quirk on him to see if he can and be sick from it. And she did, and he ate a mushroom, or actually when he breathed her thing in, his entire throat, it kind of looked like that guy that's all red from Iron Man 2, I believe, or 3. That he was all red on the front, but it was a green earth one, and when he like, okay, here it comes, and he like vomits all over, and the kid that came out was human. It was like the opposite. It kind of looked like, let me see. It kind of looked like him mixed with her and the mushroom lady. Looks kind of like that, but more humanoid, or human. So then, it was two different ones. It was actually, this, when I said the second one, what looks just like that. And the first one had a power of mushrooms mixed with veins, like her on her head, and that guy's hardened, or like steel quirk. So then, but he, or looks just like, he kind of looked like, that guy that's in the background, that guy right there, her. But, so, he said, hello, father, and they both said it at the exact same time. And Muscular was like surprised that Zuko can. So then, during the sports festival, went almost similar to Canon one, the animated version, but Zuko actually went like full throttle on all. Huh. Well, and so Zuko was pretty powerful. He went full throttle. he skipped all three without any hesitation. Heck, he even, like, he went 1 second all the way, or his speed was pretty fast. He was at a finish line at 1 second. Flat. Like, what the heck? As it was like Toga got second place, Brain Dude second place, or third place, sorry. Bakugo got fourth, Todoroki got fifth, and all the way to like 42. So then the cavalry battle, were almost the same, but Zuko was pretty smart about it. He chose his own teammates, and like, of course, they were like, yep, go right ahead. Boom. Zuko's team got first place, and it, like, all that crazy stuff. And then when I'm trying to think. When during the fight thing, Zuko and him were both battling it out. But then when he got prepared, as he does that same move, and then he shot a Omega beam thing out of his mouth. Boom! Like, even heck, Endeavors was impressed. As his own sister says, "Good job, father." They all, like, said that. Then everybody looks at them and they're like, wait, you're his kid? Huh. Yeah. As he looks at him saying, I never pulled that much power. And as then during the camp arc, almost similar to canon, but Koda, his parents, were still alive. And Koda was happy that horse. So then they're like, yeah, okay, that's okay. And he was pretty powerful at first. When they saw his power, he trained so hard. And Zuko got kidnapped by All for One. And they all went toe to toe with each other's All Might battle, but he ended up on the ground, knocked the wind out of him, but then All for One says goodbye, old enemy, as before he even went toe to toe with, or before All for One ends All Might, Zuko just straight up used his his own power hour at the fullest, like super full, like not holding back. And all right, like when I said he's not holding back, Eraserhead, or not Eraserhead, All for One turns his entire body and looked at Zuko, and he says, "Ah, your true power's fully awakening up." As he once, or right in the middle of that sentence, Zuko just came in with like 1 trillion and percent smash. Yes. He even threw All for One into space. And he says goodbye. As he like straight up used his atomic roar so loud, and he wasn't holding back, so they both exploded. Like, or actually, he created a black hole, and then it disappeared that fast after. So then, all Might and all the Pro Heroes students and that they saw their friend, their brother, or Zuko, or they treated Zuko as their brother. So then, but little did they know, Zuko is still alive. He landed in the Pacific Ocean. Or, yeah, he landed right in the Pacific Ocean. And lucky for him, he had water breathing. So then when he saw all that power, as he only person that was trying to use telepathy was her. Or actually, she knew where Zuko was at. Or Nezu's like, huh. He's pretty powerful. At the end, he's weaker than Puppy. As she says, no, he's not weaker than a Puppy. Is our hand. He always finds a way back to us. As Zuko telepathically tells everybody, I'm in the Pacific Ocean. Then, why are you not sending a boat or a helicopter? And it shocks everybody, even Nezu. See, I told you. Oh, his he always comes back. As All Might says, we'll be right there. Keep. Okay? As Inko, who was. So they went to a Pacific Ocean thing and grabs Zuko, like hoist him out of the water, as he was pretty powerful. Out there, he actually drank water thing, as he vomited up a whale known as I was gonna say drunken whale, but that's not even accurate. It was a whale that was. I always add Z at the before part. So it was Zombo. As they're like, wait, what's Zombone? Oh, so nay. As when they came back, Zook or Inko, who was pretty happy to see her son again. So did Horikoshi, or her husband, was happy to see their son back. As the muscular or All Might says, wow, that's pretty cool. As they says, well, Zombo Hoon is happy too. As they're like, who's Zombone? As they all went to the or that son of a beach thing and said, hey Zombone, come here. As it kind of looked like the killer whale one. When it was actually it looks like him, but with it's like a giant whale head. And instead of his normal arm things, he had like on the tips of them, like his hands were shark heads. As they're like, oh, that's Zombone, huh? Well, as they like, another one adds to a family. And they were like, wow. So then in this what if, Zuko had enough power to do it, but so then overhaul thing never happened because one, Zuko already took care of it, and two, the Aries did care, and so then after that, Toga, or they both hit 18, and they both not married and had their own to go blind kid. Her. She had her father's green eyes. It was gonna make her into like. So then everybody was like, wow. So some of them, like, one of them gave him cred about that. So then they were pretty powerful. Like, but he's still friends with them, like best friends. And this or that what I said was his human like state, but as during the wedding thing, as Zombone like did a whale thing, and they were pretty powerful. So then they're like, wow. And they graduated from like their class thing pretty fast. And this is it. And catch you guys on probably Tuesday, because I have to go somewhere right now. So, bye bye. Have fun.